environment like the Olympics, athletics, just high performance sport like that is ultimately trying to promote an incredibly healthy lifestyle and well-being for all people. But actually there is so much evidence and reports on how unhealthy it is to be a high performance athlete.
At the top, yeah, the irony, yeah.
Right? How ironic that the people that everyone is looking to for all of this advice on how do I become healthy, how do I be fit, well, and be one of the top, that actually when you're at the top, it's unhealthy. I remember listening to a podcast on a mitochondrial expert, but had worked for one of the Tour de France teams, right?
Yeah.
And essentially everyone would look at the Tour de France and be like, these guys are the elitist of the elite. These are the best athletes. And he was talking into some of the data. He essentially said, like, for every Tour de France that these guys are doing, they're essentially knocking a year off their life.
Yeah.
So
it causes such oxidative stress at a sort of cellular level that you effectively age yourself by performing on this.
Yeah, and that the density of their bone mass was similar to that of someone in their 80s by the end of each race, because of just all of their fuel systems were just pulling on any cell in their body to just try and get them over the line and through the race. And it's like, how is that healthy?
Yeah,
it's literally not.
Yeah, it's almost like being sort of lab rats or guinea pigs in this thing, right? So like we discover what the health metrics are as a result of people pushing it too far. But I mean, it's so right. I mean, sometimes I look at the wrinkles on my face and think, hold on a second, I think I pushed myself too hard sometimes when I was training. But like, yeah, maybe you have to have this subset of people that take it to the absolute extreme in order to learn what normal is. But it is like a kind of cliff edge, is that you're climbing up this hill and it's getting more positive, and then it can very quickly just fall off into like, okay, that went too far. But at the end of the day, it's also exciting to watch. So like, it doesn't need also to be done, and it's something in human nature to see people performing this, or like, I always put it this way, like, it's very odd, the concept of sport. Like, really, if you were describing to an alien race, like, oh yeah, we do this thing called sport, and they didn't know what it was, like, what? So people do really weird niche physical activities, and they become really good at these really niche things, and then we go, wow, you're so good, and we want to reward you for being really good at that very niche thing. And I love watching you do that. And it's just like it's a really odd thing to actually do. But in the end of the day, like, there's something inbuilt in us, like, and I'm sure there's some evolutionary theory behind it. But like in watching these performances, if you go to something as odd as like high jump, in athletics, it's not healthy to be a good high jumper at all. A lot of elite high jumpers feel that realize they smoke loads of cigarettes because it takes their appetite away, and they don't need to use their lungs, right? So they're like heavy smokers at the top end. Like, I've seen world class, like, world champion level high jumpers in the warm up area of the track, just having a fag, and then going to competing, and it's like completely opposite to like the ideals you hold sport up for, right? But you almost need this like sharp end of the spectrum to then figure out what the happy medium is that we should all be aiming for, maybe.
If you enjoyed that clip with Andrew, then you might enjoy the full unedited version of that episode. All you got to do is click right here. Go on, go now.